Hello, sir.
Okay, you are able to hear me, right? Okay. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir,
So what happened? Like,
I think, sir, you log out from here. Now
okay.
you have rejoined. Yes.
Okay. So let me make the host so that I can share the screen. Okay, you are able to see my screen, right?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay, so the next topic is very important, Docker and Kubernetes. So these are very, very important for the, like if you are working as a DevOps engineer, so the main thing they will ask it, have you worked with the Docker and Kubernetes? So how Jenkins is very important, like a build and integration, how we are doing it. So this, if you are working on the CD process, CD type, so this Docker and Kubernetes will comes under the deployment activities. So whatever the where we are getting from the Jenkins side, so you can deploy your application via Docker and Kubernetes. So what is Docker? What is Kubernetes? We will discuss. These are very important topics from the DevOps side. So Docker is nothing but it comes under the containerization tool. Okay. So what is meant by containerization tool? So containerization tool is nothing but, for example, any developer is working on any kind of application. So if he's working on one application, so he's working on PHP based application or Java based application. So he is using certain versions in his local machine. Okay. So now another developer also using the same kind of application related coding. He is also using, but is working on the PHP. He also using the PHP version in his system. So whatever the application which is working on one developer machine, with the same code, when he moves to the central code, from there, if you are taking that code and when you are running the same code in his machine, it is not running. Two different system, but code is the same. So both are PHP develop PHP applications. So both are the PHP developers. Okay, for example, both are the PHP developers. So what is the application code that was written by the PHP developer? So it is working in one system, but same code when we trying to execute in another system, it is not working. So because So there will be any reasons. Okay. So whatever the version he is using it, so what are the packages using in his local machine? So if it is identical system with same kind of a configurations, if you're there in another system, so then only the application will work. Okay, so the code is same, but in
Sir,
order to run the code, yeah,
sir, excuse me, sir.
yeah, tell me.
Sorry, sir. Sir, your voice is little low, uh,
Okay,
like it's not audible.
yeah, you
Yes,
are able to hear me now?
yes, sir, I can hear you, but not loud. It's okay, sir. I will
Not
use
able to
my
hear me?
headphone.
Okay, okay.
Okay, sir.
So we are telling that, so same kind of a code, if we are running the same code in two different systems, so the code is working in one machine, but the code is not working in another machine. So the developer will tell that, so the code is working in my machine. So there is a problem with your system. The code is working fine in my machine. So there will be a lot of dependencies, not only the coding part. So we need to also focus on the whatever the versions he is using in his local machine. Suppose he has using Java 1.8. So he's using Java 1.7. So something like in order to connect to the database, he is may extra using library or the tool he is using it. But here it is not there. So if both the systems are identical systems, everything packages, libraries, configurations, everything is the same in both the systems. So then only the application will work. So even if the application is working, so some of the functionality may not be working in this machine. So to overcome these kind of a problems, what they are doing it, so they are making as a containers. So if you want to run the application, I don't want to do any setups in my server. So what are the changes you are doing it? What are the configurations you are making it? So what are the versions you are using, software versions you are using it? All the things you can bind it in a single thing. So you will provide that application related binding activity so that I can just download it, run it. So if you run it, so all the configurations related to my system should be automatically configured. If it is working application in your system, it should work in my system. Same thing if you try, if you see at the shipment, like if you see the shipment, like if you want to carry your one item from one location to another location. So if it is developed in one area, but same kind of a product, if you want in another place, what we will do, we will do the shipment activities. So through shipment activities, the product will be same. But what are the application functionality which is running in the product? All the things they are binding it, they are making as a package. Just I need to use that application. I don't want to do any setups in my system. So I don't want to do any configurations in my systems. So if it is what are the configurations you are making for this application running, like software installations, any library you are downloading for your local machine, any binary you are downloading, all the things you bind it only into a single image. So that image you push it, I will run that image. So if it is working in this image, it should work in another image. So simply we can tell you that. So I don't want to do any development work. So already you have developed the work. So if you want to run this code in Java 1.8, so the Java 1.8 installation also you will put in the same image. So just I will run the image. So once I run the image, I will get the application and its dependencies also will be downloaded in my machine. So dependencies, any libraries, any packages, anything, all the related to application, what are the activities performing in the developer, all the things they will bind into the image. So if you are talking about the complete Docker, so we are complete deals with images and containers. So if you see Docker, it's somebody is talking about the Docker means they will talk about the images and containers. So image is nothing but it may be a software. I want to set up a software or application. All the things they can bind into an image. Okay, so if this image is working in your machine, same image should be working in another machine. That is the main advantage of Docker. So all the things related to the application, if it is a Java based application, you will want to run it. So if it is working in one machine, I don't do any changes in my another machine also. All the dependencies which are required for the application, all the things they are going to bind in a single image. Okay, so that image, when you run in another machine also, it should work it. So that's the reason Docker is very famous now. So everything they are binding into the image. So if you are telling that, so the code is working in my machine, if the code is not working in another machine means, so there is a problem with the person who has developed the code. So what are the application running things? If you want to run the application, what are the dependencies things are required? Everything we are binding into a container. So that container we are going to call it as a application. Okay. So when you run the image, it will become a container. Okay. So when you run the images, so that will become a container. So image is nothing but it is a software or application related thing and application related activity. So if you want to run any kind of application, so I will bind it everything into an image. So when you run the image, the container will be created. Okay. So to overcome the problems with the development works, application running issues. So to overcome all these problems, they have introduced the concept called containerization. Containerization is nothing but, so how the container looks like. So this is like one container. So what are the things you require it? If you want to carry that item from one place to another place. So here also we will have the container. So it container have a number of applications. So what are the application related things? If you want to run this application, so it is a PHP application, is a .NET, Java, like that. So all the dependencies which are required for the Java application running, which has done in its development machine. So all the things should be there available in here only. Okay. So what we will do? So we will carry that image from one place to another place, means one system to another system. So that image, if you run in my machine, if it is working in your machine, it should work in my machine. So if it is not working, there is a problem with your work code. Okay. So that is the use of containerization activity. So in Docker, entire thing we will discuss about the images and containers. Okay. Understood, Shika?
Yes, almost. Not fully.
Okay. Okay. So if you are talking about Docker, you will be seeing image and container.
Okay.
Okay. So image is nothing but something like a software. Container is nothing but when you run that image, we are going to call it as a container.
Okay,
Okay.
where we run the image. It's called container.
Yes, when you run the image, this image is there. Something like if you want to run the Java software. So we will download the Java image and the software name is Java. So when you download that image, that is image name is Java image. So when you run the Java, if you want to set up Java in your system, we need to run the Java. So once you download the software, okay. So if you download the Notepad++, that is a image. Notepad++ the image. But when you run the Notepad++, double click if you do it. So when you click next, that is a, when you run the image, that will become a container.
Yes, the option gives the next while
Yes.
Downloading. Yes.
Yes. So to set up this one, just we will launch one server. So meanwhile, Docker server, just to take the. Okay. So one more thing is like, so how we are downloading the Java, MySQL, .NET, PHP, any software you downloading. So you will go to the Google and you will download it. But here Docker, it doesn't allow to download from another sites. So there will be one more registry, how we are maintaining the source code management central repository. Same thing here also we have the Docker Hub is there. So you can go to the Docker Hub login. So just click on sign in. Okay. So this is the site hub.docker.com/login. So with the help of this site, what we can do? So we need to click on sign up. So to set up your account in the Docker Hub, so it's a public registry. Okay, so there are two types of registers are available. One is public and private. So public will be exposed to everybody. So private within organization. So if you join in organization, they will go with the private one. Only the organization people can access it. Okay, so to set up a like how we set up the GitHub account, same thing here also we can create one Docker account here. So once you click on the sign up, it will ask for your basic details. What is your name, email, password? If you are not a robot, okay. So once you are provided,
first we need to account setup.
We need to do the Docker account setup. So if you want to download it, if you want to push your images, so we require a Docker account. So for that one, we need to go to the hub.docker.com/login. Also, you can do it. So if you do these things, it will give the login page. So first of all, we need to give the sign up. So once you sign up is activated, like 5 minutes, it will take it to activate your account. So once your account is activated, so we have to give the username. What is the username we are providing it? Same username or email address we can provide it. My username is this one. I can click on continue. It will ask for the password. I can give the password. Okay, so here this is like a Docker Hub. So if you want to work with Java, so select Java. Okay, so this is the Docker official image, Tomcat, Ghost, Coca. This is Java. So whenever you see the Docker official image, this was developed by the Docker company. Okay, so if you click here, if you want to download the Java, we need to run this command. So, okay, same thing. If you want to run anything, so every command in the Docker, how we are seeing the Git commands, same thing here, everything will be Docker command. So if you are working with Docker, so there will be a Docker thing. Okay, so Docker and command wherever you see. So if you are talking about Docker means everything is up and with Docker. Okay, so here images and containers. So if you want to download any software, so like this, pull Java. So when you do the pull Java, Java software will be downloaded. So this we are going to call it as an image name. Okay, so if you want to download the softwares, so we need to use the pull. Okay, so like that we need to do it. So if you want to work with Nginx, MySQL, all the softwares will be available here. So MySQL software, if you want to set up it, so Docker official image is there. So based upon the downloads, you can see. So these many people downloaded. So we need to use this command. Okay. So in order to see that, okay. So now we can go here. We can see. Okay, we got the status check 2 by 2. So now we will go to log into the server. SSH, authenticate, browse. Okay, so it's a plain system. We don't have anything. So in order to check it, everything will go through root user only. So we will check Docker -- version. So when you type the Docker -- version, we don't have a Docker in this system. So just what we will do. So we will go install Docker. That's it. Okay, so now same thing what we can do. So we can type the Docker -- version. Okay, now once you type the Docker version, so version number we can remember it. The current version is 20.10. In the interview questions, what is the version you are using in? So if you are telling 6.5, so you are gone. Okay, so at least correlate with your versions 19 point, 18 point, 20 point is fine. So now it is 20.10 is the latest version. that Docker is using it. Okay. So if you want to run any Docker command, so we need to, if you're running Docker pull or Docker push, any command you are typing it. So what we need to do? So we need to check whether the Docker service is running or not. Service, service name, status. Okay. So it is not running the Docker service. So what we will do? We will do start. That's it. So once you do the start activity, you can do the service. So whenever you are working with the Docker thing, so we need to see whether the Docker service is running or not. So then only we can perform the Docker commands. Okay. So next, first command in the Docker is Docker images. So if you type the Docker images, so it will tell that how many images are there in my current machine. Okay, I don't have any images. Images is nothing but it may be a software or it may be an application image. So if you want to deploy your application, what are the things you require to deploy your application? All the things we will also keep in the image. So first we'll see about the softwares, then we'll focus on the application side. Okay, so next if you want to pull it, Java. That's it. So Docker pull. So Java latest is not found, manifest unknown response. Okay, so it is not there. So we'll go with MySQL. So when you are able to download it, we are able to download it. Okay, so now clear the screen. Same thing you can type Docker images. So when you type the Docker images, we are able to download MySQL. Same command if you type one more time. I can type same command 1-2 times. So if you're trying to pull it, so it will check for any updates are there. So already this image is there. So it is checking for any update is there for this one. So latest tag is we already is there. So this is the information we can do it. Okay. So Docker images. So if you run the same image multiple times, so that image will not be changing. Okay. So if you run the same command multiple times, same thing will be happening. Okay. So that is the way we can do it. Okay. So if you don't know how to download it, we need to go to here, check for something like Java. We checked it, right? So now what is the issue? We need to come it. Okay. So Java, if you go it, Docker pull Java only there. Click. But if you have anything information, we can get it from here. Okay. So Docker pull Java. Okay. So latest tag.
So what is tag version? Hello. 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 Hello.
A bit bad today.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, screen got freeze for some time.
Yeah. You able to
Yes.
see?
Yes, sir. Yeah,
Okay.
it's freeze for like 30-40 seconds for a minute.
Okay. So let me restart the session. Okay, so when you are seeing it like, sorry. So when you see the Docker images, okay, these are the images we can take it. So if you want to pull like Java, so if you don't have the proper versions, we can provide the colon and we can provide the version. If you have the version with this tag, so we can pull it. So if you don't have it, so we need to check for the particular Java version. Okay, so Java 8. Okay, so we need to go to the something like official websites. Anything anybody has provided the Java one, so you can check this one. Okay, so this is also Java version only, Java packaged by Bitnami. So you can take this one, copy it, we can run the same Docker pull. Now we are able to pull the Java one. So if you are not getting from the official things, so we can get it from the other one. Got it? So if you are not able to download the Java, what we can do? So we can go and do the alternative version of Java. So this was developed by Bitnami company. So from there also we can download the Java. So if you want to download another one, so Docker pull, I want to done Ubuntu image. So you can download the Ubuntu. Got it? So you can use any kind of image. So our ultimate goal is to download it. Okay, so now we can check the
images.
Docker images. So once you click the images, we have a lot of images out there. So this is my host machine. So these are kind of softwares are there. So now if you run this image, okay, so what will happen? So what are the activities we can perform with the images? Okay. Now, so if I want to delete that image, what we can do? So Docker RMI. Okay, so remove, either we can go with image ID or image name. Anything is fine. So if you go with image ID also, it got deleted. So we can click on clear. So Docker images, if you type it, MySQL will get off. Okay, so same thing if you want to download it, RMI, Ubuntu, I want to download it, remove it. Same thing if you want to remove, either with image name we can delete it, either with image ID. Okay, so if you see the information of Docker images, so when it was got created, okay, so when, what is the size, what is the image ID, what is the tag, what is the repository, from which repository has been pulled out. So we can see, so bitnami/Java. Okay, so everything got deleted now. Same thing if you know, just we will use again the pull. So next time when we are doing the pull activity, so it will check for the cache in your local machine if it's already images there or not. If it is there means it will pull from your local machine. Okay, so next thing is, if it is not there, it will connect to your Docker Hub registry and it will pull it. Okay, so if you are going to work with Docker, so internet should be must. We can't practice the same things without internet, because so when you are pulling the Ubuntu images, so it is connecting to your hubdocker.com. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if you are doing any activity, so we need to have the internet connection should be there. Okay, so these are the things we can do with Docker images. Okay, so Docker pull MySQL.
Default tag is like the version, sir.
Yes, default one is the, sorry, I didn't get you. Can you tell me? Can you repeat?
Here default tag is like the version. We are mentioning the version.
Yeah, version, which one?
Which is latest.
So version is nothing but here is the tag. Tag is the latest, right? So if you want to go with MySQL 5.6 version, if you want to go it. So we will search with MySQL. So something like 5.6. Okay, so if you want to go with a MySQL with 5, okay, so let us start with the MySQL one. Okay, you can see with anything MySQL with latest version, with MySQL certain version is there. So we need to go with Google has provided, IBM has provided. Okay, so MySQL 8. Okay, so if you want to work with, so this was rapid format, something some companies developed. So you can see the important. Okay, so something like if you want to go with MySQL 5.6 Docker image. Okay, so go to the MySQL official image. There we can see the lots of images are there. You can see. So MySQL that tags are, you can see 8, 5.6. If you want to download the 5.7, like this one, you want to download it. So if you click this one, so you will get the tags. MySQL tag 5.6 is there. So you can go and. So this will be supported. This is like tag. So you can go to the official website and we can do it. So these are the comments I will tell you. So MySQL latest they are using it. Okay. Okay, fine, no problem. Okay, so you understand the concept, right? How to download the images?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So next I want to delete all the images at a time. Now we have seen about the single image. Now if you want to delete the all images at a time. So if the image is using any container, we can't delete it. Okay, so images, which are images are there. So if you want to delete individually, suppose I have 20 images are there. I want to delete all. So what we need to do? So you have list of all the images, how we'll get it? Docker images. So all -q, if you put it. Okay, so home like this. So it is appended with your dollar Docker RMA dollar. Okay, so what are the images you are getting it? All the images you are getting it. What we will do, we'll passing as argument to the image. Okay, so if you type the Docker images, what we are getting? So we are getting the multiple images. So this, whatever the output is coming, so we are passing as an individual argument to the image. So the two commands we can combine into a single command. So if you want to do the multiple activities like delete all the images at a time, so what we can do, -a, -q. Okay, so when you type this one, so okay, so you can see the delete action. So now we see the same thing, Docker images. We don't have any activity. So there are two commands are there, Docker images. And if you pull the Docker images like Ubuntu is there, we got one Ubuntu images. Same thing if you want to go with MySQL. Docker, pull MySQL. Two images are there now. So individual image, if you want to delete it means, so Docker, RMA, either we need to go with the image ID or image name, we will delete it. But if I want to go with multiple things, multiple delete actions, if you want to do it means, so two commands combination, we need to append the dollar symbol. That's it. So Docker RMA is the deleting individual image. So if you want to go with the multiple things, Docker RMA, that image ID we require. So image ID we can get by Docker images. Okay, that's it.
So not the -a, -q. No.
Yeah, all is there. So if it is all is passing, if it is taking it's okay. Okay. Walling images, all hyphen is nothing but all images.
All.
Yes. So now we can see the Docker images. Everything got input. So with the images, we can pull the images. So now there is a concept called custom images. So this was provided by the Java image, MySQL, Ubuntu. These are the Docker provided images. You can also create your own image. That image we are going to call it as a custom image. Okay. So now custom image, we'll see how to create it. Now you understand the images, right? Now if you want to create a container, so how to create a container? Docker images. So Docker pull, I'm taking one image. To take any image, so I'm taking the Ubuntu image. Okay, so now Docker images. So here, please understand the concepts clearly. So with the single image, we can create a multiple containers. Suppose this is a single image is there. So with the single image, so we can create a number of containers. Okay, so when you run the image, it will become a container. So this is like now Ubuntu image. Okay, so now I'm running the image. Docker images I'm typing. So when you run the image, run -it -d dinner mode, so that image name. So if you run the image, then it will become a container. So in order to run the container active mode, so we need to add the detached mode. So if you're not providing this -d is a detached mode, so the container will be in the inactive state. Okay, so I will show you the both examples. So now if you see it, so one container is created, the container ID is this one. So if you run the same container again one more time, one more container ID is created. So if you create one more time, containers are created. So if you want to see the all the containers, both active and inactive, yes. So in order to see the container list, so we need to type Docker yes. Okay, so with single image, I can create a multiple containers. The image name is same. You can see the status up and running. So if you are not pausing -d detached mode, if you are not pausing it, just run -it, I'm using it. So image running, you need to take it when you run the image. Okay, so I'll log into the container, exit it. So same thing if you take the Docker PS. So we have created 4 times, we have run the command. Okay, so how many times we have run the command? 1, 2, 3, 4 times we have run it. 4 containers we have created it. So, but here we are seeing only 3 containers only. Where is the other container? So if you want to see both active and inactive containers, so we need to type -. So it will show both active containers. These are active containers. You can see this is exited state. This is inactive container.
Sir, what is PS here in Docker? What is PS?
List of all the containers. So I told it right. So we have the image and containers. So when you run the image, so image name is here.
Okay.
When you run the image, it will become a container. Okay. So now the image name is Ubuntu image. So I'm running this Ubuntu image. So the container is getting created. Okay. So we have the image here. Image name is, we can see the image details from here. So you can run this image, it will become a container. So to run the container, you can see this is container ID. This is second container. This is third container. Okay. So single image.
How can we say it is in active condition or in inactive condition?
Status, you can see it, right? Status is there. So if you see the status, it is up.
Okay.
Up. So if you see the Docker PS only both active and inactive containers, you can see about a minute ago, this container got created, but is not up and running. It is in exit state. Okay.
Okay.
So active containers and inactive containers, you want to say it means, so we need to pass Docker PS -a. Both active and inactive. If you want to see only active containers, we need to type Docker PS.
Hello.
Okay, understood the
Hello.
concept?
Sorry, again. Freezes. Now it's okay, sir.
Okay, so Docker PS will give the only active containers. So if you want to go with PSFNA, will give both active and inactive containers. Okay, so same thing, we can also perform the life cycle of container. So we can stop the container, we can start the container, so we can restart the container, we can pass the container. Okay, so we can delete the container. So these are called as the life cycle of container. So whenever the container is created, okay, so when you see the Docker PS, so it is up and running. So I want to stop this container. So every container will have the unique container ID. Okay, so if you want to stop the container, Docker stop container.
IDB.
Okay, so Docker stop container. Okay, it got stopped. Same thing if you see the same ID, so we can go and check the both active and inactive containers. You can see the both the state. So our container ID is BD. So that is stopped state. So whatever the stopped state is there, if you want to start the container again, so what we will do? So we will do the start. Okay, same thing you can type the Docker PS. Okay, again our container will be up and running. So if you want to pass this container, pass is nothing but if don't want to perform any activity in the container, so the container should be in the hang state, like it should be passed. So we can put Docker pass container ready. Okay, so if you see Docker PS, okay, it's up and running, but it is state is passed. You can see the status whether it is up and running, but it's in the passed state. Okay, so we can stop it, we can start it, we can restart the container. So Docker start that container ready. So whatever the pass we have used it, so we can go and restart. Okay, so these are the life cycle of containers. So same thing, if you want to pass it, restart, start, stop. So these are the life cycle rules of container. We can play around with containers. Okay, so now we can see the Docker PS. So it is up and running. Again, it has been 12 seconds. Restart is nothing but stop and start. Last 12 seconds, again it is up and running. Okay, so now I want to delete this container. So if it is exited state container, we can directly remove it. So if you have the Docker PS-A, so this is exited state, means it is in a not up and running. So directly we can use Docker RM that container ID. It got removed. So if it is up and running container, if you do the same kind of activity, we will get an error. Okay, so already it is running container.
Hello. 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 Hello.
Hello, hello.
Sir, screen is again freezed.
Yeah, I
For
got
2
it.
minutes.
There is some network issue at my end
Yes,
only.
sir. Yes,
So
sir.
we will continue the same class tomorrow, containers part. Okay.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Okay,
Bye.
no problem. Thank you, sir.